Welcome, I'm Bobby Ditto, and here is the video. Okay, that was a little bit cringe, but we're gonna move on. So, if you guys haven't heard of this trend, it is called the Evil Art Style Challenge. And so I have written some things here. So I wrote down for my style. I do it pretty rendered. I do oval anime irises, I do circle noses, and I try to do relatively clean lines. As for everything else, it kind of shifts around. Like sometimes I do thinner line work, sometimes I do thicker. So I'd count that as my art style because it really just depends on the day. So today we're going to be trying to completely change that and do the opposite of my art style, or the evil art style. And so that would be cell shading, round irises, smaller ears, a sharp nose. I'm thinking probably like a square or a triangle, bean-shaped head, and a stylized body, as I try to do more realistic body types. Well, yes, they are stylized, and yes, they are sometimes very anime looking, but I do try to base it more on reality than stylization. So, without further ado, let's just try to do this. So for colors, I wasn't really sure what to do, and I guess I'll figure that out later because I think I use more saturated colors, but there's also times where I just don't, and I just use really desaturated colors. It really just depends on the mood of the piece, I think. But yeah, let's actually get rid of this because this is just going to be gone now. This up here so that I don't forget the rules of this challenge. So this is a brush I got from Tumblr somewhere. I would link it in the description, but I actually can't. I've learned I can't do that until I have some channel history, so we're working on that, and then I'll be able to link brushes that I use in the description so you guys can find them more easily. But we're gonna use this as the sketching thing, but I did get it from Tumblr. Sorry, I'm like, I don't know how to start this. I guess let's start with the body shape. I'm not going to look up a reference, I'm just gonna try to go, because I feel like if I try to look up a reference, I'm like not going to be able to stylize it correctly because I'm just going to default to my style. So let's go for like a very squishy looking head, like this, and this is gonna be weird that there's like smaller ears, but you know, we're gonna do a straighter neck because that's something that I don't do. I guess this is gonna look more chibi than anything, but so it's definitely still going, it's definitely already still has that anime kind of feel, but we're gonna try to change that. Do this. I know with my chibi style, I always go like this, and then these are just the shoes, but we'll do something different. That's looking way too much like my chibi style. Should we just do everything like a bean, maybe? Like, okay. Okay, I guess actually let's not try to define where the elbow is since I do that. Let's go for a more stylized look. Okay, and then I guess with that, we probably shouldn't really show where the knees are either, so that it matches. There we go, the heater's finally turning off, so you guys can stop hearing that. This very noodle-looking limbs. Noodles and beans. This is the dinner style. I don't do round feet. I feel like maybe that's probably the opposite of what I would do. I do a lot of sharp edges in my art. Make it a little bit shorter. How we looking? Okay, this is not looking bad. Let's see. I also do usually pretty defined hands. So maybe we'll do like more like this? I'm not sure. Okay, let's draw a little circle. Since we all know I do sharp edges, and that's not allowed today. Little beans. Little noodles. Yep, that looks pretty different from what I'd normally draw. Now let's get into the details. So, the details would be I actually tried to do this traditionally. Hold on, let me just move this out of the way. so that I can see how I did the hair, because I actually draw hair a pretty specific way normally. So I'm going to try it a little bit differently. First, let's do a little trapezoid for the nose. Circles, still kind of oval-like, but you know, I don't want it to look like scary. We'll do a little. No, we'll probably just leave it like that. Little tiny ears, which is so sad. And then we will do this little bean shape for the head. Oh, I guess I use pretty clean line art. See, which is what I'm doing right now. I don't know if I'll change that up and make it less clean, but for now, you know, we're gonna stick with this because I can always add more lines. It's kind of hard to take them away though. And we won't do like many wrinkles or anything because this is trying to be very, very cartoonish. Same with the shoes, we won't go too in detail with them, which is something I usually like to do. Okay, I know some stylization is where you don't do the little things here, the little bows, and I usually do, so I think we'll just leave it like that. And then for this, let's draw the little round fingers. This is hard. Oh my gosh. Just do like a straight line here. How does that look? I think it needs a little bit of definition somewhere because I can't really tell what's happening. There we go. That helps. Okay. All right. This is what we have so far. It is definitely different than my art style. Let's add some hair. I really don't know what this hairstyle even is. Let's get rid of this part. Redraw that. Did I look up any references for the hair? No. Should I have? Probably. There we go. How are we looking? I think I need to make some of the line work a little bit smaller. It's looking a little bit thick. I really don't know how this hair works. I don't know what the heck I have done. But you know, we move on because this doesn't make sense. Why is the part here and not here? Okay, let me try to fix this a little bit. Okay, cool. I don't know what else I can do. I guess we'll move on to coloring. First, let me put a little, oh gosh, put a little line here. There we go. Okay, should I put something on his shirt? There we go. It's a little bear. Okay, so let's move on to coloring. Now this is really where it gets like, what the heck do I do? Because in my art, I use saturated and desaturated colors. Like, I use a pretty good mix of both. So I'm really not sure what to do for that. Like, do I use more saturated than I would? Do I use less saturated? I feel like I use a lot of warm tones. See, but that's the thing. I also use a lot of cool tones. Like, I use a lot of everything when I draw. And I feel like that's why it was so hard for me to, like, come up with the evil art style. Like, I had my friends chip in and help and tell me what my art style even is so that I could come up with some anti-art style, and they also helped a lot with the anti-art process. So, I don't know. We're gonna see. I think for characters, I definitely use more saturated colors. So I guess we'll try to do desaturated colors for this guy. But I'm just gonna clean this up and then I will be back. Right now I'm just thinking of like, what if I had done this with one of my characters, and I really don't think I could. Like, I could definitely turn this guy into something from my style, but I don't know that I'd be able to translate one of my original characters into this art style right now. Like, I'd have to work on it and try to draw like this more often to really be able to do it. Another thing I thought about was like going for a more realistic style, even though I hate drawing realism. I can, but I don't like to. I don't know, like the thing is that they could go either or. Like this one I'm doing a little bit more cartoonish, but if I had gone more realistic, I feel like it would kind of look similar to Cooline's art style, where everything like it's just the dead inside eyes and like the again, the desaturated colors. So I don't know. Well, the desaturated colors for the characters. Like, I feel like I do desaturated colors more for the backgrounds, and then more saturated colors for the characters, and Colleen is like the opposite, and so that's why I think of her art style as like the opposite, more realistic version, whereas this is like the more cartoonish version, which is still vastly different from mine. Okay, finally done going around that. That took ages. I have no idea why. Let's make a clipping mask. And I guess we will go for more desaturated colors. You know, why is this reminding me of that one game? It's called like Town of Salem or something. I don't know. My brother plays it. But why is this reminding me of that? It looks a little bit horrifying. Maybe I'll just make the eyes black, like in the line art. Or maybe they just need some shading. Yeah, okay, that'll look fine. That'll look fine. Let me darken the line art a little bit, speaking of. There we go. Let's color in the bear. Forgot about him. Oh yeah, and I need a white-ish color for the bottom of the shoes. So yeah, this is what we have so far. It's looking very cartoonish, as you can see. I think I'm gonna merge all of these layers down, maybe? No, I'll do cell shading first on each of them. And we'll do that. So cell shading, I'm sure you know, but if you don't, cell shading is basically that's it. There's no blending. So, let's see. Maybe we'll have the light source coming from over here somewhere. You know what's like really weird about this is that there's no like bumps in the jeans. It's very, very smooth and it's weird to me. Like there's no wrinkles in any of the clothing, so it's like weird to shade because there's like nothing there. I'm also not shifting the hues because that's something that I do with all of my art is I shift the hues for shading and for highlights and just to make it look more alive, but for this I'm just going to keep it very, very simple and not do that. Like, there should be something here. There should be a wrinkle. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious, this looks so weird. Okay, wow. This definitely looks interesting. Definitely looks not like my style. Okay, let's do a little bit of a background maybe. Here, we'll use the same green as like a as the ground. Wow. Oh my goodness. This is definitely not my art style. You know, okay, let's add anti-art style clouds, actually. Because I know exactly how these would look in not my style. It's a very cloudy day here in cartoon land. There we go. Let's clean up some of the edges. Okay, this actually doesn't look too bad. And for highlights, like, I really don't know if I should put any because, like, I do highlights, like, everywhere. So, I think that this is it, honestly. I think that this is my anti-art style. I guess let's open a new canvas and put it next to one of my pieces. Let's get a pretty big canvas, I think. That looks dumb. Okay, let's close this. No, don't say that. Okay, so this is the final result for the Evil Art Style Challenge. It was definitely interesting. I don't know that I would call it fun, but it was definitely interesting. And this is one version of an evil art style. I feel like there's definitely an opportunity to make a different version where it's more realistic than cartoon-ish, but yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you later.